Next, we have the coordinate system. Civil 3D is a vector-based application. This means everything is located with a high degree of precision to some coordinate system. Civil 3D uses what are called baselines or axes. So looking in plan view, there is an x-axis. So we can kind of see a little hint of that right here. So it has a little, it's not really an arrow, but a line pointing to the right indicating that going horizontally, that's the x-axis. Going up and down, that's going to be the y-axis. And of course we're looking at this from top view, so we don't see z. Z's kind of coming out at us, so it's pointing towards us. So this kind of works like a standard coordinate system. We don't really see it so much down here towards the bottom, but somewhere in space there's going to be an origin where its value is going to be 0, 0, 0. And everything to the right of that origin along the x-axis will be positive and to the left will be negative. The same will be true for y. Everything north of the origin will be positive and to the south will be negative. And then for the z, everything coming out at us is going to be positive and everything away from us past the origin is going to be negative. With the two axes, we basically have a grid type system. And Civil 3D uses coordinates to keep track of where objects are located on this grid. It uses coordinates in the format of x, y, z, where x refers to the x coordinate, y refers to the y coordinate, and z refers to the z coordinate. Civil 3D is going to view all geometry in the context of coordinates. The next thing is the UCS icon, which is this thing down here. UCS stands for User Coordinate System. The icon will identify the direction of positive x and positive y. The icon will also help you to see if you are in a 3D mode or a 2D mode. A set of numbers to the lower left of the window illustrates the coordinate location of your cursor. So in my case, it's not on the lower left corner, it's kind of right here. It's kind of towards the left side of my status bar. They've kind of changed that across different releases of Civil 3D. So if I rotate in 3D space, notice how my UCS icon changes. It's kind of a shaded 3D view. This is kind of important to kind of know that if you're in a 3D view like this, and the reason is because if you try to go to plot, like for example line weights, the line weights may not correctly plot, especially if you are in a 3D view. So I'm going to switch this back to plan view. So to change it to plan view like I just did, all I did was just type in plan in the command and then press enter twice. So now I want to go ahead and set my coordinate system. Now that I kind of generally know what a coordinate system is, I'm going to go to the application drop down and I'm going to go to my drawing utilities again, and I'm going to be looking for drawing settings. There's another way that you can also access this. You can right click here on the drawing, or they used to let us right click on the drawing. Maybe they changed it. They probably changed it. Alright, so going back to drawing utilities and going to drawing settings, you can go to this units and zone tab, and here we can actually assign a coordinate system. So our drawing units is in feet. Over here on the right side we can set the scale. We can see that the default is 1 inch equals 40. Here we can set the datum. So I'm going to say that this is in Kansas, USA, Kansas. And then down here it says available coordinate system. Well, I want to choose the NAD Kansas State Plane one, the 1501, which is for this area. This one here, we're kind of in the northern area. And then everything else I'll pretty much leave at default. And you may not need to set this for every drawing. If it matters for the particular drawing that you're working in, then you probably want to set this, but typically we usually don't set this. So I'll click apply and then OK.